Hey y'all, welcome back to City Skylines. This is Cliffside Bay, and this is my baseball park. It looks like that. Kind of pretty, isn't it? Don't you wish a lot of your walks to the baseball park would be as pretty as this? It's kind of cool. So we got all that done. Also, we put in some new communities. We got here. This one here. There's one over here, I think. Yeah, there we go. And we did this little park here. I forgot about this. There we go. There we go. So yeah, let's get on with what we're going to do today. Well, this is going to be my last ever build, or should I say this is going to be my last ever teardown, because what we're going to do today is we're going to concentrate on the transportation system. So let me show you what we got going on. Now, if we look on here are the figures. There doesn't seem to be a lot of people using public transportation, and there's definitely not a lot of tourists coming in, so it's kind of interesting. But yeah, here's the airplanes, air travel. This is all we got. Ships, well, we don't really have any. We only got a harbor over here, which is pretty busy. Kind of cool. And let me see. Train stations. Now, we've only got one train line. If you come over here, the only train line we got is the only two train stations we got. We got the beach one here. Looks like that. Kind of vibrant. Kind of cool. And whizzing on over here, we got one next to the Olympic Park. Not exactly sure if I actually gave this a name, but yeah, we got this station. He goes, there it is. Looks like that. So there we go. Pretty cool. So that's the only rail cover we got there. We've got this is a funny one here. The buses. Let's go to the buses. We've only got one bus line. As you can see, where is the bus line? This little blue line here is the only bus line. As you can see there. Let me get you out the way. You're kind of in the way. Which goes all the way around there, that kind of thing. So it just covers that. That's all it's doing. I have definitely abandoned my public transportation networks, haven't I? And the subways are absolute spaghetti mess. So let's have a look at them. Yeah, lots of subways I've just thrown down here, there, and everywhere, as you can see here. And it's a big old spaghetti mess, I think. Yeah, definitely a big old spaghetti mess. I'm thinking of tidying all this up, ripping all this up, and starting again. Although the trouble behind that is, because I've got so far into it, I'm not going to destroy any of my subway stations. So whereas they like here, I'm not going to remove any of them. So that's going to be kind of a problem. I've got to kind of tidy it up, but make it kind of fit in with the current stations, because I put a lot of work into them. As you can see right here. And here, there you go. So I put a lot of work into them. So I'm going to leave all the subway stations where they are, but I'm going to try and make it a little bit smoother, a little bit tidier. And then I'm going to put in a few missing things that my city should have had in the first place, that kind of thing. So let's get on with it, shall we? So first things first, what we need to do is come out of there and go back into here. So the first thing we need to do is to make sure we don't have any rogue kind of lines or stations hanging around with a little kind of warning mark. We're going to get rid of all the lines we've got. So beginning with the bus service. So goodbye bus service. Oh, before I do that, let me show you my traffic. There you go. So yeah, we are 85%. Now I do believe that is probably the standard. It's always going to be around 85%. And I think that's pretty cool. Considering I wasn't really focusing my city on making it kind of traffic centric, that kind of thing, you know, making it friendly for drivers. It was always supposed to be kind of realistic, which is why I kind of like it having a little bit of busyness, because it looks more realistic, as you can see here. And these hotspots are not really to do with how dangerously bad the traffic is. It's all to do with just how busy it is. And as you can see, even though this is one of the busiest spots, the traffic is flowing. So even though there's a build-up, well, a huge build-up, should I say, of traffic, it's always flowing, even here in the busiest spots, as you can see here. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to kind of get rid of all the lines. So carrying on, let's get rid of all the subway lines. That's going to make a lot of people upset. Maybe I should pause the game. Yeah, let's pause the game. There we go. Every single line is now deleted. There we go. Oh, apart from this one, the train. Oh, we're keeping the train line. That is, yeah, that's a thing. Yeah, I'm keeping the train line. Yeah, so yeah, my city is, yeah, kind of short for space. And I'm not going to put a train station, let me come into this view here. I'm not going to put a train station kind of around this side of town. I wanted to originally, but I kind of ran out of space and when I started coming up with these creative designs, as you can see here. So yeah, there's no space for them. And really, I could have a train station up here, but I don't want to encroach too much on the land we got here because this is based on Escobar International Airport, as you can see here. I don't want to cut away too much of my little gimmicky design, so I'm going to leave that like that. Maybe I'll use a small portion and I'll tell you what I mean about that later. But yeah, so we're going to keep the two original stations, the beach one here, and obviously the Olympic one here. We're going to have that one line running between there. So really the rail network is only really for my industry. As you can see here, we got a cargo hub just here, Dean's Dip. I got one up here. We got the international freight and cargo here, and obviously we got the final one, which is this one here, which is pretty cool. There you go. So we're not going to touch the rails, but we are going to touch the subways. Okay, so let's start ripping up all these subways. Now there's going to be one or two little things that'll be a little bit complicated for me to work out, especially as I'm trying to make a video, so it's, you know, time constraints and all that. Especially this little section here, which is purposely built just to show off railways and industry, that kind of thing. So it's a bit of a spaghetti under there, so I'm not going to touch that. As you can see, yeah, that is a bit of a spaghetti, so it's a bit complicated. I might work on that later, but there will be one or two little things I'll leave. Maybe like here, I'm not too sure. But I'm definitely going to rip up the rest of the subway lines, that kind of thing. So let's get started, shall we? And what I'll do, I'll meet you when I've got it all done. Okay, there we go. We are done. It's, yeah, it doesn't look like I've deleted a lot, but I have. Trust me, I have. A lot of these are underground actual rail lines. Just take away the delete button so I don't do things by mistake. So all these are kind of underground rail lines, so I'm keeping all them because my rail network is absolutely fine. I'm absolutely happy with that. I've left in this because this kind of works, the way it connects into there. I might change it a little bit, but I've kind of left it in because it was a bit of a pain to get this line running all the way around these hills. Try to get the right depth and all that kind of thing. So I left that one in there. But yeah, we're going to do a huge omission is we didn't have any public transportation going to the airport. So we're going to definitely put something around here. So back underground, there we go. That's why I've left that there, as you can see. So yeah, anything else over here? I've left this little curve in here just to remind me how to get out of there. All this is deleted. I've left this line here because that goes into the spaghetti. I've deleted this one because I'm going to see if I can come up with a plan. But yeah, the rest of it's all kind of... Is these subways or trains? These are trains. There we go. And is this a subway? This might be a subway. I'm not too sure. I'm trying to think. Goes all the way. Yeah, this is a subway. Sorry that I'm whizzing around. I'm just trying to look at it quickly. So these are subway lines. So do I keep these? I might... I don't know. I'll delete this little piece here. Like that. Now let me double check to make sure these are definitely trains. Yep, definitely trains. There we go. So yeah, absolutely happy with that. So let's start coming up with a plan. So go on to the subway stations themselves, which will look like that. Now as you can see, these are where all the stations are. They are no longer connected. Yeah, happy with all that. So there we go. So what I got to do is now come up with a plan to kind of make it look a little bit tidier. So, I'll tell you what. Let me do something off camera. It's going to take a quick time because I'm very fast at drawing. Okay, so yeah, this is the CSL map view of my town. This is the actual layout. As you can see, everything is absolutely 100% accurate. EIA, North Hangars, all that. There you go, the Botanical Gardens, everything you see, Olympic Stadium, there we go. So yeah, this is the whole map of the town, and it shows you all my neighborhoods, like residential, office. Is this office? I think this is office, and this is commercial, that kind of thing. Huh. Everything Cliffside Bay, okay, cool. So there we go, got all that, even got all the kind of little symbols for wind turbines and my little paths of these ones here. And as you can see, let me have a look. I'm trying to use my WhatsApp keys to move around, but you have to use your cursor. So as you can see, these are all the underground subways. This is the original layout, by the way. So as you can see, these are all the original subway lines, which are these kind of light blue and kind of turquoise blue dotted lines. As you can see, this is the original bus line. Ran along there, got rid of all that. These are the train lines, you can see there. Looks like that, kind of cool. And the underground part of the trains, these dotted lines here. So let's just take it back a step. Okay, there we go. So I've taken away all the buildings, so it gives you more clarity of what we got going on, my whole entire rail and road network. Pretty cool. And can you see that is such a spaghetti, what's going on there? It's kind of cool. But yeah, this is the actual road layout, I guess, the street layout. So yellow represents the highways. So yeah, there you go. So it's kind of cool. So let's take it back another little step. So there we go. This is as far back as I can go. Then my next image would probably be just the terrain. But yeah, this is it all without the streets, the buildings, the names, the places, all that. It's all gone. All we got is the rail networks, which is kind of cool. So it looks like that. So what we're going to do, we're going to try and tidy all this up because it's kind of a... I mean, this is okay, but yeah, this is... Yeah, I have no idea what I was trying to do. It's probably because I built the city, then I did the subways afterwards as an afterthought, which is kind of natural, the way they kind of build things. And this is my proposition, as you can see here. So I've kind of changed it up into having maybe a singular kind of loop, and then maybe one kind of major connection into the downtown little hub we got for 2 subway stations here. This is the Eiffel Tower. So the main focal points for subways in my city so far are downtown, we got 2 together, and the Eiffel Tower. These seems to be the hot spots for people. So I've got this little plan here. Now it's going to be kind of representative of this, but it won't be exactly like this because the subway stations are not dotted in the correct locations, and I'm not going to move them. So I got to try and work out a way to get it look a little bit like that somehow. Other side of the town's going to look like that. As you can see here, maybe a loop here, and I'm going to do something with, maybe I have another kind of loop. I'm not too sure. This is why this is in blue. Blue is the secondary main line, red is the main line. And that is it all together, as you can see there. So yeah, we got the main line here, and we got the main line here, and then we got these secondary main lines, and maybe this is going to be a loop. And I got some extra little plans here, as you can see here. So this is the university line. Now this has always been here, but I've kind of got rid of it. I'm going to see if I can make it a lot straighter, but I can't because the subway stations are kind of dotted here and there, that kind of thing. But it's just a little suggestion of what we got going on. And then as you can see here, I got a few little extras. So over here, we don't have any subways at all. So I'm going to try and put one in kind of here. It's going to feed off that kind of loop. Well, I hope it does anyway. We're going to put a subway station next to the baseball because there's no public transport getting to the baseball field. And we're also going to put in one with this loop here next to the airport, somewhere around there, that kind of thing. Which is going to be feeding off the original line which we got here. So it's going to kind of connect into there, that kind of thing. And then probably go around there, that kind of thing. So that's what we're going to do. So there we go. That took me about 8 minutes to draw all that. So yeah, let's get on. Okay, so we're into subways, and now this is where it gets complicated. I think if I click on here just to show me where the stations are. So, okay. So as you can see, we got this main focal point here, and we got this main focal point here. I want the loop to start kind of here, go around like that. I'm thinking, as you can see, a lot of them seem to be lined up to form that original loop. So that's kind of cool. So at least we can do that. So instead of talking about it, let's do it. So I guess I deleted a lot of these that didn't need deleting. But I'm going to see, because we don't look underground, it doesn't really matter. But what I'll do is I'll just do a straight line here. Straight line there. There we go. So it looks like that. That's okay. And then I'm lost. Okay, I'm gonna do a kind of, let me put that on freeform. There we go. Okay, is that, oh, do I have to go underground? Let me go page down once. There we go, that works. Okay, I'm stuck with that one. So I'll keep it like that. So about there, I think. Okay, it's gotta make sure it doesn't snag onto the roads, which is kind of a pain in the keister. Let me take away my snapping points. That'll give me more flexibility. About there, okay. I'm going to put it just about there, and then I'm going to join it up into that one there, hopefully. And then this is going to go kind of here. Then I'm going to somehow push that around there like that. Then I got to connect that into there. Okay, that's going to be interesting. And keep it nice and straight. Thank you very much. Oh, this is okay, because this, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, these road tunnels are on a giant hill, so yeah, you can see the depth is a lot different. So yeah, that's kind of cool. So that connects in. So there we go, we got our original first loop. So now what we got to do is connect in the beach train and the Eiffel Tower, part 1. So as you can see here, my original Eiffel Tower hub, I guess, what we had them kind of connected, so the train would pop in here and then stop off there and then move on. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that connection to make it a little bit more realistic. I'm going to have this side of town being covered by this part of the hub here, and then this side of town being covered by this part of the hub here. So what they want to do, so if you want to go to this side of town, you're going to have to get off here and then go across the street or across the plaza and get the subway over to this side, which is kind of realistic, which is what they do in real towns. Okay, so yeah, let's work out a way to connect that. So I'm thinking we just do a natural little loop and hook that in there. Can I hook that in there? I think this is probably what I had originally. But yeah, there you go. I've replicated what I've already done, but it's okay. At least it looks tidy to me. And then the only thing I need to do is hook it into the beach. Now, what I wanted to do is to hook into the beach, but to stop off at the beach and then carry on there. So this is where I got to do a little bit of a tricky changing. So that gives me, yeah, that's the shape I want. Okay, so we're going to connect that in kind of like that. Okay, that works out. So the train can go stop off here, and then I need it to, when it comes out, to go back along there. So that's my proposition. There you go. So it's a bit of a spaghetti, but I think it's going to work. I think it's going to work. So it's going to, I think the trains are going to run this way around. They're going to go in here and then come out there, that kind of thing. So that's okay. So we got that. So I am happy with that. I think we're going to call that one, yeah, I think we're going to call that line done. So let's look into that, shall we? So let's start off from here, Eiffel Tower. I'm going to put it into this stop here. And then it's going to go all the way to the beach. And then it's going to go all the way to this one here, which is this Dean's Dip? No, this is the library, I think, academic library. Oh, no, just a general library. And then going to go to here, which is a part of the, I don't know, the office in commercial and industrial zone, and more industrial zone, and then another industrial zone there. And then it's going to go all the way down to back into there and complete the line. There we go. And you can see this loop is being ignored. So what I'll do is I might delete this if it's not used later on down the line. But there we go, we got that. Anything else going on here? Yeah, so this part of the loop is not being used. So I could probably practically cut that away. But yeah, that looks a lot tidier. And to go with the diagram, as you can see right here, we're going to make this line red. There you go, nice red line. Now let's give it a title. So what should we call this? What should we call this? We could call this the, I don't know, Eiffel East? Yeah, let's call this Eiffel East. Okay, there we go. That is the Eiffel East. Now, do I want to have a train going the opposite direction? I think I am okay for this. I am okay for this. Let me have a think. I mean, it would work, but would that be too many? I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. First of all, let's cut this down to the lowest capacity just for now, just for a little trial period. Yeah, 2 vehicles. Okay, interesting. So how many stops we got? We got, does it say? 6 stops. Okay, so we got 6 stops. 6 stops and 2 trains. Let's see if that works. So yeah, let's get that running and see what happens. Speed that up a little. And check the numbers here. So what we want to do is we want to keep the capacity, which is 120. What we want to make sure is the, as you can see right here, we got over 300, nearly 400 passengers waiting. So what we want to do is to make sure that the capacity of the train is higher than the amount of people waiting. So obviously you can see I'm on a bit of a loser. Which station is this one? It's this one right here. Wow, look at all the people. As you see, first train goes past. Yeah, that's yeah, look at that. There's a lot of people everywhere. So they're definitely making use of the subways. So I think we got to up the trains and maybe up the capacity. Now this is a lot of micromanaging, but it gets you kind of into the mood or the setting of how to correctly do these in real life. So we're going to up that to 150 and maybe give it one more train, just to see what happens. So as you can see, we're looking for these figures to be below 150. So 1, 2, 3 there. Here we go. Here comes the next one. So this is over 150. But so on the first run through, we'll give it a free pass. But on the second run through is when we'll make more adjustments, that kind of thing. So this is the first run through. So as you can see, it's fully maxed out, and yeah, this is still above, yeah, they're still above 300. Okay, so we definitely got to make adjustments, and that's only the first train. And as you can see, they are bunched tightly together, so if we can get them all spaced out, we probably get more accurate, correct numbers and readings, that kind of thing. So let's up the trains, another one, and then let's up the capacity. So next one up is 240, I believe. Yeah, there it is, that's the one. So we're going to go for that one. See what happens now. So we got 610. Wow, that's crazy. We got 1, 2, 3, and here's the fourth one. So our new figure now is we are looking for, if you see on there, 240. So anything over here on this side goes above 240. That's when we need to make adjustments. These are all fine, as you can see here. This is fine. It's this station here and this station here is what we got to look out for. Now this is the first run through. Okay, it seems to be coping well apart from this station here, but yeah, this is only part of the first or second run through, I can't remember which one. But yeah, as you can see, this seems to be coping really well. So let's do a little bit of an experiment. I want to see how these numbers are affected if we put in a line going the opposite way, yeah. So let's do that right now. Okay, there we go, so I'm happy with that. So yeah, let's do a little check on the numbers here. So, oh yeah, before I do that, let me put it on 4 trains. We're going to keep it scientifically accurate. 4 trains, and it's 240 we're looking for. There we go, 240. Let's see what happens here. The numbers. So as you can see, the numbers are absolutely, yeah, absolutely ruined. It's kind of perfect. So this is way too much for this line here. Too many trains maybe, and the capacity is too much. So let's go and check on the other line to see if it's affected it in numbers. I'm thinking maybe this is because this was the first one put down and this is the one people are used to. As you can see, all the numbers have shot right down. So yeah, the experiment is to ease up the burden of one line. The countermeasure to that is put a second line going the opposite way. There we go. So you can either have one line running around with high capacity and lots of trains, or you can split it up like that. Although you're going to have lots of trains all over via networks, and it might cause you a little bit of a stressful nightmare trying to work it all out. But it kind of works. So what we need to do now is, I think we got too many trains. I'm going to drop it down to 3 maybe and see what happens with the numbers. I'm going to do that with both networks. Yep, that hasn't changed much. So yeah, I think we can probably drop this down to a capacity of 150 because we don't need 240. That got 3 trains on there. It does. That's okay. That's perfect. So there we go. A little bit of micromanaging on how to kind of work out your trains. I mean, you could go for the whole hog, just put lots of trains in there, or go for the max capacity. I want to make it look semi-realistic, I guess. So what's the point in having so many empty seats on a train? It's more money. You're paying out more money, getting less in return, I guess. So there we go. So see there, make sure this number here doesn't exceed 150. And you're pretty much set up for the rest of the whole kind of network. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to lay down the rest of the lines and kind of do a little bit of micromanaging. And then, yeah, it should be kind of easy from there on then. The only tricky thing is now is to work out where to put the lines. So we got, if you remember, we got that loop, and then we got the kind of blue lines that come out from here. So we got to kind of work out a way of how to put them in to include all these stations that are no longer connected, that kind of thing. So first of all, let's go with this line here. So yeah, we got to connect it to here. So okay. So let me have a little thing. Can I put it kind of, yeah, it kind of snags onto the roads, which is very annoying. Put it there, and can I put it there? I can. There we go. That kind of works. And then we're going to have it coming out of here. And then I don't know where I'm going to go. I've got an idea. What if we have this line running from here, and then we run it up to maybe a subway that we put in kind of here, and then we connect it into here. We're going to have a subway kind of here. This is what I'm thinking. So let's pause the game. Let's do that. So we can delete all these. Above ground, please. And this path here. And let's see if we can fit in a subway. Let me have a little look on here. This one here, this one here. Okay, we got, oh, that's okay. Okay, I was a little bit worried we got another line on the, let me go underground. Let me show you. There we go. I was a little bit worried because we got this line here, but as you can see, I sunk it a little bit lower. So that's kind of cool. That's worked out pretty well. So we got that there. So how does that look? That looks all right. I like that. Put a little bit of detailing there. Okay, so let's come up with another subway. So where do I want to put that? I think this looks, yeah, we got all these crazy kind of crazy spaghetti kind of looking pathing networks. I think this looks like a good idea to have one here. Kind of justifies having all these extra paths. Can I fit that in? I can, but it's, yeah. Probably have to do a little bit of street finagling to get that to work. Can I do that? Let me try. There we go. That's a little bit of finagling, but it kind of works. So that's how you move the nodes over, which I've probably showed you a million times, but there we go. That's kind of cool. Let me change that back to the street it's supposed to be, which is this one here. Perfect. And can I fit you right in there? Let's do that. Actually, the best thing to do is to tidy up any extra nodes that shouldn't be there. It's just to realign it. It doesn't matter because you got all this automatically placed there anyway. So yeah, and let's just carry on this road, and hopefully we haven't destroyed anything. So a trick I always do is I always kind of redo this. Go back into here, back into marquee. I always redo this to make sure I haven't missed out on things. As you can see, taking away the yellow here, so I've just placed it back in. Press play, and hopefully that saved it. Yeah, there we go. Stopped it from getting deleted. So yeah, we've got a subway there, and that kind of works out really well. Kind of cool. Got to do a little bit of detailing there, and maybe a little bit of deleting, like that. Get rid of that one and that one. So yeah, we got that one, so that's pretty cool. Let's press pause again. Okay, so let's try and connect these together. And if you remember, I got this at a lower depth, so it should kind of go over there. Let me make sure this is on freeform. Perfect. So what we can do, we can have that as a separate little miniature line. Not exactly sure what we call this. Maybe downtown to forestry, DT forestry line, maybe something like that. So yeah, let's put a line in there. It's going to be like a very infrequently used one, I think. There you go, DT forestry line, which DT stands for downtown, because this is let me show you. This is downtown, as you can see quite clearly there. Can I move that out of the way? I can. There we go. Clearly downtown. So yeah, let's change the color. If you remember the map, the little picture, and then I'll just set it up like I did with the other subway stations, and I'll get back to you at the end of that. Okay, there you go. It seems to be barely being used, but as you can see, a whole bunch of people are coming out of there, so it's not as bad as you think. But yeah, I think we're happy with that. We kept the capacity at the lowest, which is 120, as you can see here. And we've just kept it at 2 trains. I could knock it down to having 1 train, but I think 2 would make it a little bit more realistic, that kind of thing. So it looks like that. There we go. We got that kind of little loop there. We got this additional road, got this additional line here. Let's put in 1 more additional line, and that's this one here. There we go. So that, yeah, that kind of works. It's a bit of a mess, but you can see why I did all this spaghetti, just to get all these links and lines kind of working in such a tight space. And the whole reason behind that is to get, to make it visually look awesome, having all these trains running around here and then disappearing into tunnels and that kind of thing. And as you can see, got all these little hints that this is a kind of a transportation and kind of industry plaza, if not museum, that kind of thing. So that was my idea behind that. So yeah, let's get on to giving that a name and setting it all up. Olympic line, here we go. So yeah, minimal passengers at the moment, but that might pick up when I've got other networks connecting with each other, that kind of thing. But yeah, I've kept it as capacity 120 and only 2 trains. That's all we need. And it seems to be doing okay. There we go. So that's fine. And as you can see, the plaza is still looking vibrant and kind of working. Yeah, this one is definitely being in use now. See all the people coming out. So that's kind of cool. So I like, oh, hello, Mr. Building. Would you get out the way? So as you can see, I like that. It looks really cool. Looks like a proper little kind of central downtown plaza. Perfect. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so we got our final line here, which starts off at the beach, and as you can see, it's not in use. But what I want to do is kind of get these tracks running again. As you can see, nothing is hidden there. I've removed the blue line. Kind of just hidden it so it doesn't get in my way when I'm trying to work things out. But as you can see, nothing is touching these tracks anymore. So let's get rid of that, just so I can see what I'm doing. So we're going to start off at the beach. Go there. And then I'm not too sure where to go now. Can't get in there, but we can get in there via the Olympic Stadium. Okay. Okay, Olympic Stadium. Can I go from there to there? I can. Okay, so it goes in there, back out there. Can I go to here? I can. Okay. And what it's doing is now coming around here using that. That is perfect. And it's going in there. Okay, so from there, can I go to here? I can. Okay. It's going back around. Yeah, this is what a spaghetti this is. So yeah, it's going back around. I don't know where this is going. It's probably going back around the other way, around there and up there. And then we're going to connect that back into Olympic Stadium, I guess, for the return journey. And then back into beach. There we go. That is absolutely complicated. But as you can see, why I have so much spaghetti set up. And why, yeah, it's all to do with, let me pause that to come out of here, see if we got any trains come out of here. There we go. See if we got any trains using this line. That's the important thing. So yeah, it was all to do with, all the spaghetti underground was all to do with having this visually looking absolutely awesome, having trains running up and down here. Is that a train? It is. Okay, it's running too fast. I can't see. There we go. Let me close in on it. There we go. That's the green line. We got trains running backwards and forwards here again, so that's perfect. And there it goes. So it visually looks awesome, especially if you got it. There we go. That's exactly what I needed. So yeah, we got a trains running over trains like that. Absolutely perfect. Okay, there we go. I'm leaving that on 2 trains at lowest capacity of 120. And yeah, this is rarely being used either. But it's okay because it looks visually kind of like a realistic city. But yeah, there we go. It looks like that. That's my final side of this town completed. Got the loop there. We got the blue line, and then we got that extra green line that I kind of did in the diagram, which is going up here. Kind of pleased with that. So yeah, we are done with that side of town. So it is time to move on to this side of town. Okay. Yeah, let's see how we get on with this one. This is going to be kind of interesting. Okay, so if you look at the subway stations we got dotted around here, they're kind of forming a bit of a loop. Let me show you. Kind of, yeah, got one there, one there, one there, one there. So they're kind of forming a semi-loop, which means I really should give the baseball park or baseball field a kind of subway of its own. which will help form the loop. So that's my thinking behind that. So if you remember the picture, we're thinking about this loop kind of here. That kind of thing. Yeah, the baseball park's up there though, okay? But yeah, that's what we're going to try and work on, this loop here. So let's put in a, yeah, okay, where am I going to go with this one? I might as well just put it in the middle of here. So let's delete this here completely. Let me see, where do I want it? Maybe I want it to go above ground, thank you. Wow, that shows you these are not lined up. Yeah, I could have done better than that, couldn't I? Okay, never mind. So what we're going to do is we're going to, yeah, that's bugging me now. I got to get rid of that. There you go, that's a little bit more essential. That's kind of appeased my kind of stress, which is kind of strange because I'm now going to put a road right over the center of it, like that. So yeah, the reason why I'm doing that is I'm thinking maybe we have the subway kind of here. Well, let me have a think. So yeah, maybe just along this line here. So if I put a road in kind of here. So I want the road really to go up here because I want it to be facing this way. So 4 squares maybe. So maybe if I put a road in here, I put the subway in this way. Like that. Okay, that, yeah, okay, maybe I could change that when I do the detailing, but it's kind of got to the edges of there, so that's not too bad, not too bad. And then my idea is to delete this road completely and carry on with that central road, but only having it as a kind of popping in kind of here. Put it in just about there like that. There we go, so that's absolutely perfect. I like that. We got that set up, so that's kind of cool. So let's complete the line, shall we? Or the loop. Let's call it the loop. Whoa, look at that. While I'm sorting out the numbers, I'm so far on a 240 capacity for 4 trains, but look at that. Let me go back onto there. Look at that. Over 1,000 people at this station alone. That is absolutely crazy. Yeah, 1,300 and counting. So yeah, this really is a popular line. There we go. So yeah, absolutely crazy. And the good thing is they can now get a connecting line to this side of the town, which is going to increase the traffic around, not the traffic, it's going to increase the public users of the networks. So it's going to be kind of cool. But yeah, I'll get back to you when I finished all this, but that is absolutely crazy. What does it look like from above ground? I said it was going to be a focal hub, the main kind of area, but look at that. That is kind of crazy. Okay, there we go. My setup is complete. What I've done is I put another line going the opposite way. So we got clockwise and counterclockwise. This one is a 360 capacity, that kind of thing. So it's kind of keeping all this in check, especially this number down here. So, or up here, should I say. There you go. Let's go on again. So yeah, I want to keep it down to 4 trains. We got that one. That's I for west, counterclockwise. Line overview. So we want to go I for west clockwise, I guess. This one here. And it's kind of the similar thing. 4 trains, capacity of 360, which you can probably see just about there. There we go. So everything is now kept in check. So I'm absolutely happy with that. So we've got one kind of interesting thing to do. We've also got to connect this line here somehow. And maybe I'm thinking connecting it to this line here. Or maybe up here, because we got this to do as well, which is kind of interesting. So yeah. Yeah, so okay, let's get on with it, I guess. Okay, so as I kind of alluded to earlier on, we have got nothing in here. We got nothing in here. Can you see anything in here that's like representing public transportation? Cut that down like that. Oh, look at that. A lot of people arriving. Right on cue. Where are you going, sir? You just arrived. You're going to the plaza with picnic tables. So you're going all the way over there from the airport. Okay, that's kind of, and you're driving there because you got no other way of getting there. So let's kind of fix that, shall we? So here's my idea. I'm going to encroach a little bit on the EIA, the Escobar International Airport, only a little bit. So everything is still authentically like a Grand Theft Auto Vice City, which is why I got this kind of weird kind of advertising kind of billboard. That's what that's supposed to be. So we got that. So what we're going to do, we're just going to cut away this little kind of thing here with this strange kind of runway that runs in here for some reason with the dangerous kind of airplanes taking off. And then what we're going to do, we're going to come up with some kind of, I don't know. We're going to come up with some kind of little maybe bus hub, because we do not have a bus hub in the whole of the kind of city. And we definitely don't have any subways up here. So yeah, we're going to come up with a kind of a bus hub. So let's see if I can come up with one, shall we? So as this is going to be a bus hub, which is kind of appropriate, we're going to set this to this road here, 4-lane road with bus lanes. Okay, so yeah, okay, so let's get on with the road layout, which I don't know what to do. Let's go with this one. Okay. So what is, let me go to my measuring one. So there to there is 880. So we want to go 440. So 440 is, let me put my snapping points back on. Thank you. Oh, it's just there. Perfect. So that is the center. Okay. How close can I get? I can get to about there. So that is the center. Okay. Let's make sure I got do I need my zoning on? Yeah, I want my zoning on just so I can see my measurements, that kind of thing, to help me anyway. So I want to go, can I go here? I mean, I like the idea of it, but I want to put a few stores in here. So I'm going to go here. And then I'm going to go, I don't know, maybe to here? Yeah, 320 seems to be okay. Yeah, okay, we'll stick with 320, and it got a bit of more of a gap there, but I'm okay with that. So how far back down this way? Okay, that's, yeah, okay, that's kind of close. Okay, we can just about get away with that. Okay, okay. I like that. Let me get rid of that road. Cut that across there. What's the entire length of that? That is 640. Okay, so we just need to go 640, which is kind of here, and that guideline, it kind of helps me anyway. Put this road in like that. Okay, so this is the beginnings of the bus hub, and I'm thinking we put in 2 subway stations kind of around about here. So where am I going to put them? So here to here is 560. Okay, so we're looking for about 280, I guess, which is there. That's the center. That's 280. Okay, so yeah, we want to put the subways kind of in here. So not here or here, but kind of in here and here, that kind of thing, facing this way. I'm going to go for. So that's kind of interesting. I'll tell you what I want to do. Let me have a think. Maybe I want to change up the roads. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Let me move you anywhere I can just for now. So let me come up with a little design of flair. So I'm thinking, yeah, so we're going to go with the one-way streets with trees, which I always use, like that. So we're going to have the road going in here, and then the buses can come out this way and this way. And then we're going to do the same thing kind of here. So we're giving them like a even gap of 2 zoning tiles each. And then here we're going to change this up. So we're going to put this to a road with, yeah, this one here, the bus lane. What's it called again? I can't remember. It's called the 4-lane road with bus lanes. Okay, there we go. Going to do that. And then with this one, we're just going to give it a little bit of artistic flair. Going to change it up to this one here, like that. Kind of cool. It's going to change the design, but I'm okay with that. Back on here, like that. That's perfect, I think. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so yeah, let's carry on. Perfect. Let me change you around. So yeah, all the buses can come in here. So we got a potential, I would say, of maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. Which way is the bus is going? Yeah, okay, yeah. 2, 4, 6, 8. So 16 stops, but that might change later on down the line. So yeah, let's put these back in. There you go. So it looks like that. It's kind of cool. So we got the kind of the beginnings of the bus hub, which looks like that. So I'm going to leave that like that for now. So now I've got my 2 subway connections up here. We can now start connecting them somehow. So let's do that. So we got this one here that needs connecting, and it can connect up to here. So I'm thinking, can I create another kind of loop? Which probably ties into kind of around here somehow. Yeah, okay, yeah, we can go up around here to connect to this one here, and maybe, yeah, this is complicated, isn't it? Okay, I've got another idea. I'm making it up, of course, but I do have another idea right just about, what am I gonna do? Just about now. Okay, now I've got another idea. Okay, you can see how quick thinking I am. We're gonna put a subway here. Put that there. We can put in another office here. Why not? If you can, go for it. Put another one here. Why not? Speed that up. We can make them instantly historical or just let them grow to whatever they grow to. There we go. Yeah, I like that. It's kind of cool. So you just gotta wait for that one to change. Okay, so we got that. So that's kind of cool. So let's carry on with the lines. Back onto here. So I'm gonna try and make a loop somehow. There we go. That is called the Escobar International Line, or just call it the Escobar. And to keep that one in check, as you can see here, we've gone with the standard 4 trains with a capacity of 360, which is this kind of one here. There you go, and that's working pretty fine. It's definitely keeping this one in check. Okay, so we got all this hooked up, but we don't have this line hooked up. We don't have this hooked up. We do not have this hooked up, as you can see here. And we do not have any subways running through here. So this is what we got to do next. So let's, I tell you what I should have done. I should have just left this line in because this works out absolutely fine. So let's hook that in. And let's hook that into, we want to go to here. So let me work this out. I want to kind of make it look a little bit natural. Okay, so there we go. So we got that one done. It's a bit more of a complicated one, but it's still on the loop. It's going from here, all the way here, down here, going around here, and back again. So that's kind of cool. I like that one. So let me set that one up. Right, there you go. Got that one set up. So yeah, this is the, as you can see here, metro capacity 450. So we're using that one. We're using 6 vehicles. And this is by far the busiest of the stations, what it was. Until they got the passengers collected. But yeah, everything is now running smoothly. Where is that above ground, please? Oh, it's here. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so this is, oh wow, look at all those people coming out. Okay. Definitely busier than the hub which we got going on here, which we are yet to power. So that will be coming up later. So yeah, we got one more little thing to do. So let me go into lines just so you can see these are all running fine. We don't have anything running down. Which way is that going? Oh, don't have anything running up. Okay. All running up there. Okay, it doesn't matter. So yeah, what I want to do now is do one more little line, and that's to connect, if I may, is to connect this subway here. So we're going to start off here, create a new line. We're going to go off to the harbor, and then to the town hall or city hall. And we're going to go to there. I'm going to go up to here, as you can see there, like that. Kind of cool. Then we're going to go off to this industry here. We're going to miss out the university completely, both of them. Going to go to Step Industries. And then we're going to wind all the way around to the forestry industry here. And then we're going to go all the way back to, I'm thinking, where should we go now? Yeah, I think we'd go all the way back. So, yeah, let's just go... Yeah, I like the idea of that. This is going to be an absolutely overlong, complicated line, but I kind of like what I'm going to do. So, yeah, we're going to stop off here again. And we're going to go this way this time. Going to go all the way around here. Just to put a little stop in there, like that. And then I'm going to put a little link in there. And then complete the line just there, like that. There we go. So yeah, this is a bit of a complicated one, but this is definitely my industrial run. So it's going from kind of there to the harbor, around here, up through the airport, to this cargo kind of freight kind of area here, up to the industry here, back to over to the industry here, and then back over to the industry here, and then it's hooking into this industry here, and then looping in back to where it began. So yeah, a bit of a complicated one, that one. But it's a whole lot tighter than it was before, so I'm kind of happy with that. And I'm going to keep that as green. Okay, so that's perfect. So let's carry on and give that a name. Okay, so there we go. We're just about keeping that in check. Here comes the last train to kind of cover up these numbers. It's just about to go over 500. Yeah, that'd be fine because I got this one running behind that. So yeah, as soon as they start bunching up kind of more correctly, all these will be kind of cured of all the numbers. So yeah, we've gone with 5 trains, the max capacity, which is 500. And I think I'm okay with that. Look how crazy this is down here. The amount of people using this is absolutely astronomical. There we go. And as you can see, this is all being cleared up. And then by the time they get down here, it'll all be super clear everywhere. So there we go. We got that one. So absolutely perfect. So I would say our train lines, well, our subway system is now complete. And it looks like that. It's a couple of loops here and there, and then a few odd little kind of specialized runs. But yeah, it's absolutely perfect. Okay, so now we got that sorted out. The next thing to do is sort out the bus lines. So I'm probably going to fast track the bus lines because it's going to be a similar setup. I'm going to do a few loops around the city. It's going to be connecting more within the residential zones, but it's going to be the same practice, moving residents to commercial industry parks, and especially we're going to move them to the subway stations so they can get a subway across town or a train, that kind of thing. So, but to do that, we need to set up our bus hub, which we got over here. Here it is. There we go. So let's come up with a plan. So it doesn't really look like much of a bus hub, and there's no power running to it, as you can see there. So let's put in some paths, first of all. Let's go for this one. I like this one. Make sure that's on low, thank you. So let's go up 1, 2, 3. Like that. Is that 3? I'm not too sure. 1, 2, 3. No, 1, 2, 3. There we go, perfect. Like that. Cool. And then can I hook that in there? I can. Can I hook that in there? I can. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Can I hook it over there? I can. There you go. So it looks like that. Weird shape, isn't it? Now, what the bananas can I come up with next? Let's see. We're going to go freeform. And we're going to take away all the snapping points. And then I'm going to panic because I don't know what I'm doing. Let's do... Yeah, okay. You going to connect in there, please, gentlemen? There we go. That's working. So that's kind of cool. What I want to do is... what you could do is you could have them running kind of straight. That kind of thing. Like that. But what I want to do is I want to come up with something a little bit more kind of architectural or designery, which is why I'm putting in some curves. Can I get you connecting up? I can. So you look like that. Okay. That's interesting design. Let's do the same with this one. Okay. Okay, that kind of works. I like that. Okay, we're just not going to have it straight to the kind of end of the pathing network there. Okay. Okay, so that's looking kind of cool. I like that. It's okay. It's starting to look. Yeah, tell me what you guys think this is looking like. To me, it's starting to look like something kind of interesting. Okay, back to the paths. Okay, just about working. Get away with that. Okay, there we go. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that is definitely starting to look like something. Okay. Can you guys tell me what this looks like? Yeah, okay. So yeah, let's finish off with here. This might be the determining factor of what it looks like. That looks, yeah, okay. So everybody, what does this look like? What do you think that looks like? To me, that looks like something. To you guys, it might look like something else. But yeah, there we go. Very, very strange kind of thing going on there. I'll tell you exactly what that looks like at the end. But there we go. So we got that. So we got to find a way of getting the power. And the way of getting the power is to put in some more buildings. So we're going to go, well, we got a demand for a commercial. Speed the game up. Let's put in some... Okay, we're taking away the zoning. Let's put some zoning on here. So let's go for low density. We're going to go for... Let me leave a gap. Can I go 2 4s? I can. We can go for 4 there and a 4 there. So that's a 4. I don't know. I like the idea. Let me delete that. I like the idea of being able to put something down the middle there. So I'm going to go for 4 there. So that's a 4 there. 4 by 4. And hopefully that'll go in. But also we're going to put in some buildings here. So maybe a 3 here. A 3 here like that. Hopefully this will work. I'm not too sure what these are going to be like. Hopefully they'll level up. Is the power connected already? Okay. Oh yeah, okay. Wow, okay. Perfect. So yeah, let's see what pops in. Yeah, that's facing the wrong way, dude. You're facing the wrong way. I mean, maybe I could keep you. If I keep you like that. Just for now, just for now. And then let's delete you. And if I can get you to move in of the similar flavor to that. Some of these are a bit weird. Okay, what I'll do, I'll spend a lot of time whack-a-moling. And then we're just going to have a few little commercial buildings around the bus hub. And this needs to be straightened out. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to... Oh, here we go. We got a building. Please be the right one. You're the wrong one. Okay, never mind. I'll delete you. So what we're going to do, we're going to carry on with the connectivity. Let's put a path in here. What kind of path do I want? Might as well just go for this one here. So if we can put a path kind of in here. About, let me make that just straight. About there should be fine, I think. And then bring that along there. Let's bring you all the way to there. Like that. And obviously bring you down there like that. Do the same here. And then we're going to join you to the hospital. Like that. So that's kind of cool. These are the long buildings yet again. So while we're going to be playing whack-a-mole with them for like 100 years, let's start connecting all these paths in, because I kind of like the idea of this. So yeah, so we got that. That's absolutely perfect. So yeah, can you tell me what that is yet? You know what that looks like? I'll give you a clue to what that looks like. That looks like it's kind of really bugging me. You don't know? It looks like a bug. So I'm thinking, I'll tell you what. Let's delete that little section there. And let's place in another one. Apparently this is called Pole Square. We're going to call this something else. There you go. That is called the Bug Hub. And I'll show you what I mean. It looks like a bug. Don't believe me? How about now? It looks like that. There we go. The Bug Hub. So yeah, how are we doing over here? Okay, which one are you? Okay, wait for you to level up. You all the long buildings again. Get rid of you. So yeah, I'll do a little bit of whack-a-moling and I'll probably get back to you at the end of all that. So yeah, we're still waiting for this one to pop in. This one eventually turned up. I want to put in 2 more little buildings here while I can. Just 2. This one's not going to pop. You're going to pop in there, but not there. Okay, is it to do that? Might be to do that. Can I change that up? Okay, now I can. Kind of weird. That worked out. Okay, is it? Oh, it's the wrong one. We'll keep trying with that one. So yeah, so we got to wait for 2 little buildings to pop in there, and then yeah, we are done for the Bug Hub. So that's kind of cool. We did have a potential for maybe 2 stops to each side of the street. So 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Delete. Oh, Germany, we got it. Okay, let's historical, perfect. That's what I want. Add a little building there. Gonna do another one here eventually. I don't want them to be the gas station. But yeah, so we had a potential of 2, 4, 6, 16. But now, because we got these kind of footbridges in, I do believe these actually take away some of the stops. We can, put a stop this side here. We can't put one this side because this path's here. We got 1, 2. We can't put any on this side. 2, 3, 4. Okay, none on this side. 5, 6, 7, I guess, and 8. So yeah, so we've gone from 16 to 8. And that's perfect that I paused there because got a final building. There we go. So we got 8 potential bus routes. So that's kind of cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fast track putting in the bus routes, and I'll meet you at the end of all this. Okay, there we go. That is all my buses set up. And that was quite a task. Let's come out of here like that. There we go. So yeah, this is quite a task. So let's hide them all. Begin with. So here we go. We got the Eiffel Beach one, which is this one. You can only just about see it, which is this one here. Can I move this out the way? I can. I wish I could shrink that down. So you've got the Eiffel Beach one, as you can see here. It kind of covers all this area here. See that? And then each bus line actually goes into the hub. So this is directly to the hub. It doesn't really stop off anywhere around here, but as you can see, it's got its own stop, which is just there. Next one on the line we got is the Central Boulevard, and that's that stop just there, as you can see there. And that goes all the way down there and twists up and around there and all up and down the Central Boulevard, as you can see here. It looks like that. So pretty cool, pretty cool. And as you can see, they're super busy. So here's the Central one, which it runs all the way down here. It kind of loops up and around kind of this area here. There you go, that's the Central one. The Mountain one is kind of explanatory. Comes up and down kind of here, as you can see there. A few little stops here and there, but the majority of it is to run up and down the mountains, as you can see here. So pretty cool, pretty cool. That's the Mountain one. We got East Industry. Now this is where they get kind of this is where they get really, really kind of drawn out and complicated. So this one runs all the way along here, as you can see there. Runs all the way along here, and then its collections all around this kind of area here. There you go, and then it goes all the way back. So yeah, that's kind of a long, twisty one. Next, we got the Step Varsity line. As you can see, that is right over here. There you go. See that? Yet again from the hub, and it goes all the way up around here and covers the university and the Step Industries, as you can see right here. And the last one on our list is University North, which is this one here. And as you can see, this one snakes all the way along here, and it covers quite a lot of the university and high-density residential and commercial zones, kind of like that. And this is the university in question, as you can see here. Okay, I put on the stops so you can see it on the bug hub. So we got 1 stop there, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And there's a missing one, which we're going to do right now. So yeah, this is the only one we haven't done. Okay, so let's see if we can work this out. So we're going to start off here. We're going to go to the airport, like that. And then we're going to place it in kind of here. I think there's a hospital here. Is there a hospital? There's a hospital. Yes, we're going to place it somehow in here. So let's put a stop just there. For now, I'm going to put one next to the hospital. I'm going to put one next to the school. And then I'm going to drop a stop kind of here. Yeah, that's fine. And then let me have a look. We got this airport here. So yeah, we're going to put a stop where the airport is. And then we're going to go all the way around here. I'm going to stop it just there. Then we're going to come out and go to where this cargo hub is. So I'm going to put it kind of here, I think. Then we're going to put another one where the baseball field is, which is right over here. I'm going to put it there, I think. I'm going to put one near where the botanical garden is. So about there. Then we're going to put a few stops around here because we don't have any here. One there. One where this hospital is, which is kind of cool. And then one to this little community where the schools are. So let's put it, I think, there is fine. We're going to put another little stop here. Just about here, that's fine. And then what we're going to do is we're going to twist it and turn it around and we can go all the way back. And I'm also going to put a stop kind of here. Like that. There we go. Perfect. So we got that done. So let's change the color on all that. Take another little look at the Escobar. Oh, there we go. So this is the busiest stop at the moment. 160, as you can see there. 168. Anything else? Yeah, that one's kind of busy. So hopefully these will bunch themselves out. Oh, look at that. Instantly gone. Yeah, we did it. There we go. I'm going to pause the game right now. I'm going to make that historical. That is the last building ever to be put in my city. There we go. It is, what is it? It is the Quiet Corner Shop. Okay, that doesn't look like a Quiet Corner Shop to me. Okay. So there you go. That's the bug hub. It's absolutely vibrant and busy. Beautiful little build, I think. I think I've done kind of wonders. Yeah, I think we'll leave it there. What we're going to do, we're going to do a little bit of detailing. We're only going to detail where we put in some new subway stations, that kind of thing. So yeah, I'll get back to you after all this detailing. Okay, folks, there we go. That is the very last detailing of my very last episode of Cliffside Bay. Well, technically, it's the last kind of build episode. I've got one more kind of episode to do, is a showcase where I show you the whole city, and I kind of realign all the buildings, convert them from these modern ones back into this. I'll do that all off camera, but what I will do is do a bit of a showcase in the very last ever episode. So today, what did we get done today? So today we completely ripped up all my transportation networks and started all again. So as you can see, got a whole bunch of buses, or absolutely, yeah, full of passengers. They're really using them and all that kind of thing. So yeah, kind of pleased with that. So we got all them running, and we got all these subways running now. As you can see here, these are getting well used. Absolutely happy with that. Oh man, Escobar International Line is, wow. That's got more passengers than any, apart from the industrial one. Wow, that's kind of cool. So there we go, everybody. So yeah, the only other thing I did was a little bit of detailing as I threw in a few more extra subways. So we got this one right over here. There we go. Let's go into this view, better view. Oh, this one's a little bit more picturesque than normal. Looks like that. It's kind of cool. And we got another one right over here somewhere. Here it is. There we go. This one is getting well used. And the other one I got is right here. So it looks like that. It's kind of cool. And then the final piece of detailing we did right over here at the bug hub, which is right here. You can see there. I put in this little park in here. So it looks pretty cool. Lots of extra paving, as you can see here. A few little things here and there. Not much to write home about. Trees and paths and all that. And then the bug hub, which is still absolutely vibrant and busy. Lots of little trees placed around here. So just to make it look a little bit pretty. I didn't go overboard, but I kind of like it. Does the job. Little eatery, and where you get your magazines and the tickets and all that. So kind of cool. We heard that on the other side, as you can see here. A few little trees, shrubs, and benches and all that. So yeah, absolutely beautiful little build, I think. Kind of pleased with that. So there you go, folks. I'm going to leave you with this little view here, and why not? So there you go. So in the meantime, sincerely, take care of each other. Have a really nice day, and I will see y'all